You are listening to the Purpose of Money podcast, a podcast where we talk about ways to build wealth and create more freedom in your life today. I am your host, Aquania Escarnet. Hey guys, welcome back to the Purpose of Money podcast. I'm super excited. Today we have special guest Nia Imani. She is a mother of 3 and is affectionately called Love by her grandbabies. She is the legacy lifestyle expert at Fabulous Life International. Her company educates women how to consciously create generational wealth. And you know how I love to talk about generational wealth because that is the purpose of money. Nia Imani expanded her platform by opening the doors to the Legacy Tribe University, her online course platform. She is also honored to give others an opportunity to create their own success stories. LTU is designed to facilitate transformational topics that are rooted in the richness of her personal and professional experiences, which don't worry, we're going to talk more about today. She is also a purpose-driven leader who established the Legacy Tribe, a manifestation community for women that are intentionally elevating their higher self. There is so much more to say about this amazing woman. We had an amazing conversation when we first spoke, but I can't wait to talk more about her journey on the podcast today. So let's hop into this conversation with our award-winning entrepreneur with over 20 years of experience in the finance and real estate industry. Nia, how you doing today?
I'm excellent. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Let's talk about this impact that you've been having on women in the world. I was really drawn by you and your story. I met you, quote unquote, via Instagram, but we connected on the phone. And I knew after our conversation that I needed to have you on the show because I was just so inspired by how you've been an entrepreneur for over 20 years in the real estate space. But then we also share a passion for helping women build generational wealth. So before we hop into that, I want to talk a little bit more about your journey to this point and what is it that inspired you to launch your platform and your online courses? You know, what was in Nia Imani's life before you were a successful entrepreneur that you are today?
Wow. Well, to begin, I like to tell people I'm a survivor of everything. And when I say everything, I mean teenage pregnancy, domestic violence. I dropped out of school at 16 years old. I actually never went back to school. I don't have a high school diploma or a college degree. I've been homeless, in an effort to escape the domestic violence relationship that I was in. But one of the things that was always in me was an ability to fight and an ability to see life on the other side of my situation. So I never, even at my lowest points of life, never allowed those circumstances to define my future. And that alone just kind of created like this fire in me to do something different on behalf of myself and on behalf of my children. And so that's basically where that seed was planted, to build generational wealth. And honestly, it just kind of innately came about. I never heard the word before. I didn't even know what I was doing. But I was just heading towards a path to just, change the trajectory and rewrite my history. So I just went into this mode of I'm going to be better. I'm going to do more. I'm going to expose my children to things that I never learned when I was younger. And I made a commitment over 20 years ago, and I'm still doing that today. And my children have, embodied that spirit. And then I infuse all of that passion and that purpose into Fabulous Life International and created what we have today. So I'm excited.
I love that. And you gave us a lot. So I want to unpack that a little bit because not every teenage mother is able to take control of her life, escape domestic violence situations, and become a success story. So tell me, after having a child at such a young age, What was your blueprint? Besides being motivated to change the trajectory of your life, did you have mentors to help you or anyone that kind of steered you in a direction of how you can still succeed without finishing school, going into real estate, for example, where you could study for an exam, become a realtor, and make money that way? How was that opportunity presented to you?
Wow. So my first entry career into finance world was a temp job at Bank of America. And it was so funny because I was still like a hot girl back then, right? And I was like partying, hanging out, and I was late to the interview. And so when I got there, I looked at the clock, I looked at the lady, and I was like, I'm here for my 2 o'clock interview. And it was clearly at like 12. So she let me go. She let me go ahead and interview. And that was the beginning of a new me. When I started working at Bank of America, it just really opened me up to the other side of money because I was working in the IRA department. The stocks, bonds, and mutual funds was on our same floor. And me coming from the heart of the hood and being able to see this environment where people are saving and investing money, I was like so intrigued. And I was also curious because there was women that was way older than me that had been there forever, and they were just kind of going through the motions, but I wanted to learn, I wanted to grow, ask questions. I started getting mutual funds and things like that and IRAs set up even back then. And keep in mind, the only people that I saw that had money in our neighborhood was the drug dealers, the killers, and the stealers, right? And so all of this was so new to me, but it was like just the heavens had opened, and it was like my answer to my silent prayer, to just God expose me to something different, something that I've never seen before, something that's going to help me open up doors for my children and just live a better life. So Bank of America was my first door into finance. And then from there, I actually bought my first house while I was working at Bank of America. I was making $12 an hour, and I was always good at saving money. So I was able to buy my first house. And then from there, a young lady called me and asked me about refinancing. Even though I knew I didn't want to refinance, we hit it off kind of like you and I hit it off. I've always had this personality. So we were just talking and stuff, and she said, you have a really great personality. Have you ever thought about doing mortgage loans? And I had never done mortgage loans before, but me and my tenacious self, I was like, of course, I'm pretty sure I'll be good at that. And so she called me and she said, well, if I get you an interview, would you come? I said, absolutely. Because when I bought my house, I was commuting probably over an hour to work because it was in a different city. And so I went to the interview, I got the job, and that's basically how I became a loan officer, by a telemarketer calling my home about refinance. And I took the job and I did, really well there, but the entrepreneurial bug bit me, and I met a gentleman in an insurance class back then in 2000, and I was on track to get my insurance license, but he told me about government contracting. And so that it opened up my eyes to something else that I could do. And he introduced me to a gentleman. His name was Michael Pugh. He took me under his wing and became one of my mentors. And he basically walked me through the government contracting process. I was 24 years old. Remember, I was the little girl from the hood that just had a desire, right? Strong desire to break generational curses of poverty, prison, pain. My kid's father was going in and out of jail. So I just wanted to I really, really wanted to do something different. And so I got that opportunity. He helped me with my first contract, and then he loved me so much, he would just overbid on stuff and then give it to me. So within less than a year, I had 7 government contracts. And during that time, I had got married, and we were not equally at all. And I was very motivated, very tenacious, very ambitious, and he was just kind of going through the motions, right? And so that marriage didn't last long. And I made a decision that I was going to sell my home and move to Atlanta to do real estate investing. I had never even been to Atlanta. I didn't know anybody in Atlanta. And I just took the initiative to put my home on the market. It sold in like 2 weeks. I winded up selling it for over $100,000 more than what I bought it. And I just took like a real estate investor guru class, and I was off to the races. I was coming to Atlanta to do real estate investing, and that's exactly what I did.
I love that story. I'm from Atlanta, so I always love when anyone has success in my hometown. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm just so amazed at how you went from one opportunity to the next and you were constantly growing, which is super
Mm-hmm.
important. And you found the right people. And I say that's nothing but God, because if
Nothing.
if anyone else had showed up at 2 o'clock for an interview that was at 12, they probably would have been like, "Chick, you're not getting this job. We're not even
Mm-mm.
wasting our time." But they
Mm-hmm.
interviewed you and you still amazed them. And look at the journey that you've been on. So let's fast forward to now. You are living your best life. You've had a full career in real estate, and I know that you're looking at transitioning again in your life. What is it that motivated you specifically to start your online platform and help women alter their mindset, build wealth, in different ways? Because I know one of the things that you focus on that I've never had anyone talk about on the podcast is foreign exchange. But I also want to talk about your platform and what you work on first. So, a woman who wants to build generational wealth and go through your program, what are some of the things that you focus on first?
Okay. So the evolution of my business started out at real estate, and then I went into consulting because I always have had this innate ability to inspire women. That has always been the foundation of everything that we do, and inspiring them to create generational wealth. As I was leading by example, right? One of the things that hit me like a ton of bricks during my journey was that I had a whole bunch of like hidden trauma and challenges, mental challenges that I had not had the opportunity nor the capacity to address. So what happened was I would build something and blow it up. I would build it and blow it up because I was just so emotionally damaged, and I was very, I had a lot of walls. Even though I was having a lot of success, I was having a lot of challenges because there was so many things that I mastered, but there was one of the things that I wasn't good at, and that was being human. I didn't know how to hurt. I didn't know how to ask for help. I didn't know how to do any of those things because I had never been in a situation where I had the ability to do that, right? I was just like one accomplishment after the other, and I was just chasing ambition. And so when Fabulous Life International started evolving, I came up with our signature course, which is the wealth methodology. And wealth broken down is women emerge and live through healing, because I truly believe that wealth is so much more than money. And I learned that the hard way. I can make money very easily. I can adapt to opportunities. I can execute. I can envision things. But I really needed to do a lot of work on my mind. So what we do with our wealth methodology is we walk women through a trilogy of principles. And the first principle is mindset wellness, because that's the journey of self-discovery and personal peace. I want them to have a healed heart and a sound mind. And then we work on vision manifestation, because I believe that once your heart is healed and your mind is quiet and aligned, then you can see the vision so clear and you could go from concept to completion very easily. I have been able to master manifestation. And so I can do that, for myself. And I encourage women to just pull those creative ideas that are already within them and bring them to fruition. And then lastly, we talk about legacy. So legacy planning came about because, of course, I have a background in real estate and finance. And then in 2017, I got my life insurance license. So we tie all of that together. So we talk about money management, which is the cornerstone and a foundation of everything that you're going to do, and legacy planning, because you can make $1 million. You can have a six-figure income business or job. But if you don't know how to manage your money, it doesn't matter. So we start with money management, and legacy planning is basically the preparation of transferring wealth from one generation to the next. And so we talk about real estate, we talk about life insurance. And then lastly, last year, I learned Forex. And so we've incorporated Forex as one of our cash flow opportunities in our legacy planning division, because it's a way for you to make a significant amount of money from the comfort of your home. And I wanted to make sure that we had a well-rounded approach to legacy planning. So the wealth methodology covers everything that I am personally and professionally, and I'm able to offer that to women.
That's excellent. So, what exactly is foreign exchange or Forex? For those who've never heard of it or are not familiar with this wealth producing cash flow strategy, can you define it for us and then explain how it's used in your class or even by investors?
Absolutely. So Forex is short for foreign exchange market. So the foreign exchange market is similar to the stock market, but like my son says, it moves 10 times faster. And it has a lot of differences than the stock market, because Forex is basically exchanging foreign currency. So for example, you are trading the Great Britain pound against the US dollar. You are trading the euro against the Japanese yen. So there's so many different currencies that you can exchange, and you're basically going in and taking either a buy or sell position. What I like about the foreign exchange market is that you can make money in increasing markets or declining markets, unlike the stock market, where typically you're only going to be able to make a profit when your stocks or your shares increase, right? And so Forex, we're typically in and out of the market in a relatively short period of time. I have adapted and learned the scalping strategy. So that's a short-term trading strategy, but they do have more long-term, like day traders. You probably heard of that. And then they also have swing traders. So swing traders can stay in a trade for months up to a year. But I have basically created a systematic approach and a formula that my clients, AKA students, can follow and become profitable in the market. And my course is only 4 weeks, but by week 3, they are already understanding the foundation of Forex and being able to get in and out of trades. And by the 4th week, which is graduation week and review, they are coming to the table and they have already been able to make a profit.
I love that. So you're teaching women the basics, the opportunity to actually apply the knowledge and even make money by the end of the course. So they could essentially make their money back, right?
Absolutely. That is the goal, is for them to be able to make their investment back, which is only $444. Our course is 4 weeks, is 2 hours every Tuesday. But the way that I learned was not the way that I teach. The way that I learned was very chaotic. It was no system. There was no process or procedure. And I'm a very like methodical person, right? You know, my mind works 1, 2, 3, step one, step two, step three, in everything that I do. There is going to be a concept or there's going to be steps that you follow. I've just always been that way. I run my home that way. You know, I run my business that way. So I created what we call the 6-figure strategy. And then I broke that down into 10 steps. And I've learned blood, sweat, and tears what to do and what not to do. When I was learning, I stayed up almost 24 hours sometimes, really, because the market is open 24/7. They have the London session, which is like 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. I will be on that session learning. I will be on the New York session, which is 8 a.m. to noon. I will be on that. I will be on the evening session, which is the Asian session from 8 p.m. to 12 a.m. Literally, fighting to obtain this information, even though they were throwing it out like darts. Literally, you had to like just catch what you can catch. But all of that, I believe my 15 years of experience in the real estate and finance industry basically allowed me to take all those pieces of the puzzle that I was thrown and be able to create a systematic approach to the Forex market, which is extremely complicated, by the way. I make it sound easy because I just had that inner genius kicking in and be able to understand it from a layman's terms and be able to communicate it to my clients so that they can understand it and then apply the information and see profits right away.
So how much money does someone really need to get started
Well, the
in
broker
Forex
that we
trading?
use, you can start with as little as $50. My initial account that I started a year ago, I started with $50. My goal was to turn that $50 into $500, and I did that in a month. And then I just kept growing it from there. And mind you, at that time, I still didn't really know, what I was doing. But yeah, you could start with as little as $50. You could start with 500. You could start with 1,000. Of course, what I always teach my clients is to keep your leverage low and focus on making accurate decisions and understanding what you're doing. And then once you actually get the concept and you see a pattern of successful trades, then you can increase your lot size and then that will accelerate your income. But my goal is to get them to 6 figures, which is $300 to $500 a day, which you can do that very easily. But it does take some time and effort, in order to understand when to get in, when to get out, and just if timing is everything in Forex.
Okay, I like that. And how much time in a day do you need to commit to this? Because I understand, while you were in your learning phases, you were up all hours of the day getting into different markets. But does a mom who has a 9 to 5 and is looking to do this as a side hustle, does she need to commit that many hours a day? What's the minimum to really get that $50 into $100 and then slowly increasing it from there?
Yeah, I like how you broke that down because that's exactly what I tell my clients. I will consistently make $50 a day. I will, and this is like affirmations that I have them say. I will consistently create $100 a day. I will consistently create $300 a day. I will consistently create $500 a day. So basically, with me as their professor, that time frame has been dramatically cut down. My whole purpose for this course, our 6-figure course, is to decrease your learning curve and be able to help people increase their income right away. So I mean, it really depends, but you can have 2 hours 4 hours, because I have everything laid out for you. It's not sporadic to where you're looking on YouTube and then you're trying to read, this material over here or watch this video over here, because that's how I was presented the information. They have slides and everything is broken down per week and everything is very neat and accessible. And then they have access to me also. So I communicate with my students 3 ways: live class on Tuesdays. They could do one-on-ones if they have additional questions throughout the week. And then we do live Q&A Thursdays as well. I don't have a lot of students who sign up for live Q&A Thursdays. That's because I'm so dope. And they, not to, just a little collar popping or what have you. But but yes, I don't have a lot of students that come to Q&A Thursdays because they either get their answers on the live class and refer back to the material, because if they send me a message, I'll say that's in chapter 2, page da 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 da, so, or they can schedule a one-on-one and then I'll spend some time with them just kind of clarifying things at that point. It's not like they're just lost, but they just have some additional questions. So their time that they need to commit, I would say, depending on what time they have available, could be 2 to 4 hours a day, or 2 to 4 hours every other day. It just really depends, on what their availability is.
I love that. I love that flexibility. And I think that everyone is looking for passive income. I talked to a couple people today whose goal is passive income, passive income. For some people, that's real estate, land, being a landlord, renting out properties. For others, it could be making money in the market. And now you're introducing the foreign market as a great way to do it. And people have been doing this for centuries. So why shouldn't we as Black women be a part of this too?
Absolutely.
So I love what you're doing to break down the concepts and make the barrier for entry lower for us and helping us do it wisely, because I do think you can lose a lot of money trying to figure it out on your own. And I appreciate how you took your experience and packaged it up in a much better presentation. So now I want to talk more about you and your vision for yourself and your company. What is next for you as you continue to embark upon your journey to help and inspire women?
To just grow. I'm excited about, I call this the second season of success for me, because I have been an entrepreneur for so long. I mean, I ran, I hustled, I failed. I made a lot of accomplishments. I manifested a lot of stuff, right, along the way. So now I feel like I finally answered my ultimate call, because I've always been a teacher. I've always inspired people. And I feel like through our online university and our manifestation community, I get to operate in the fullness of me. And that's the pour, that's the sow, that's the support. So my ultimate goal is to be teaching, trading, and traveling. So in that order, and I prayed for this and I asked God, to just give me an opportunity to be in that position. And again, as my company evolves, into our education platform and then our membership platform, it's going to allow me to get out and meet more people, to share our message and our methodology with people. We actually offer the wealth methodology complimentary. People don't even have to pay for that, because I want people to be exposed to that. So that is our signature course, and we give that away. I do signature talks about it. And then if they are interested in taking a more specific study path, like if they just want to focus on mindset wellness, we do have that course a la carte available. But in reference to being exposed to the concept in general, I had to give that away, because that's just how I am. But yeah, for the evolution of everything that I'm doing would be to grow a very large enrollee subscription of clients and students that are taking our courses. We're going to be adding some more courses to our curriculum. And then also our membership platform, being able to grow our members and being able to expose them to the services that we have available, being able to get their businesses and take those to the next level. We do have profit share that we offer for our members. So if they help us expand and expose our membership community to other women, we share profit share with them also. So, the sky is pretty much the limit. I'm just looking forward to meeting a lot of new women. We're going to start our Higher Self Summer Series, which is a brunch, dinner party, yoga, meditation, whatever I'm feeling. We're just going to do like pop-ups and really just bring everything, like I said, the company that we offer to the table, allowing people to bring their dreams, their higher self to the table and be loved on and be supported and edified in all that they do.
I love that. Let's get people back outside, networking, connecting, and thriving together. That's beautiful. If I'm in Atlanta, which I will be soon, I definitely want to take part in one of your events or just connect in any way we can.
Absolutely.
So the name of the podcast is called The Purpose of Money. So I do ask every guest this question: what is your purpose for money?
Wow, my purpose for money is to do exactly what legacy planning is, and that's to transfer wealth from one generation to the next. It's not really even about me. It's about my children. It's about my grandchildren. It's about the lessons that my grandchildren will learn from us and my children and be able to, just keep that ball rolling. So the purpose of money for me is to create a lifestyle that is encompassed of so many different experiences and opportunities that we'll be able to live on for generations to come.
That's such a beautiful answer. Nia Imani, I am so blessed to have you on the show today. And your story is amazing. The just experiences that you've been through to lead you to where you are today is nothing but God working through you. I can tell, I can feel it. And I'm super excited for what's next for you in your second season of success. So I want you to keep going. I'm here to support, and I want my listeners to support you too. So please let us know, where can they find and follow you on social media and on your website?
So social media, you can find me at Nia Imani. Just make sure it has a Fabulous Life International, because there's a lot of Nia Imanis out there, believe it or not. And then our website is thewealthmethodology.com. That's going to lead you to everything that we do. And I just look forward to connecting with each and every one of you, however way that I can support what you're doing and connect, just like we were able to connect. I'm also looking to take those online relationships offline and get me some new sister friends.
Yes, let's do it. All right, guys. So you heard that. I'll make sure to include all the links in the show notes. I hope that you reach out, follow, and connect. As usual, if you like this episode, please share it, like it, subscribe. I want everyone to get this knowledge because this is important. Until next time, keep building generational wealth.
Absolutely.
For more resources and information, check out my website, thepurposeofmoney.com. And while you're there, please sign up for our newsletter so you have the latest information on new episodes and blog posts. Until next time, keep creating freedom in your life today